Hi. All right. It's good to see you all, sort of. I wish I could see your faces in person. But here we are, ready to do some chair yoga. So what you're going to need for this session is a chair, preferably like a kitchen chair or a folding chair that doesn't have any arms and is really stable. And then something that would be like a yoga strap. So if you have a strap, that's great. If you don't, a piece of rope or a belt or anything like that would be a good substitution. 6 to 8 feet long would be ideal, but we can improvise. Yoga mat underneath your feet if that feels good. If you don't have one, that is perfectly okay. And you're going to be in control of the music today. So if you want to pause this and get some nice music going, you can do that. If you want to practice without music, you can do that too. So if you need to pause, get your props together, get yourself comfortable. You do want to be able to bring your feet flat to the floor. So if that's a challenge, bring something underneath your feet like yoga blocks or a couple of books or a stool or something like that. So get comfortable. Pause me if you need to. Come on back when you're ready. Okay, here we go. So as you sit down, you want to sit so that your ankles are directly underneath your knees. And you've got about 90-degree angles at your knees. Try to sit where you've got space between the back of your body and the chair, and you're using your abdominal muscles to sit up. So draw those low belly muscles in and up. Let that roll the shoulders back. Sit nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Relax tension through the neck. And as you sit up tall here, close your eyes and begin to tune in to your breath, noticing the feel, the sound, the sensation of each breath in and each breath out. If you can hear that train in the background, try to picture feeling the rumble underneath your feet. Breathing. Allow those inhales to draw your awareness into this time, this space here. Exhales, let them settle you into the experience in your body. Aware of your breath. Begin to make that subtle shift to your yoga breath, your ujjayi breath. It has that whispery ha sound to it. It sort of feels like you're fogging up a mirror maybe. You try to replicate that on your inhales too. With the mouth either slightly open, or maybe you've learned how to practice that breath with your mouth closed, still creating that constriction in the throat. That's where that whispery ha sound comes from. Might sound a little bit like somebody snoring. That's normal. Might sound like the ocean. So begin to establish this smooth breath that feels like the inhales and exhales fit well together. Full breath in and full breath out. Perhaps setting an intention for your yoga practice today, finding a positive word or statement, planting those seeds of intention in your heart center. Keep the breath moving nice and fully as you open your eyes and just take in your surroundings, okay with any sounds, pets, distractions that might be around you. It's all good. Beautiful. And as you open your eyes and you sit tall, notice if you found yourself leaning back into the chair again, come back forward, engage those belly muscles, sit up tall, relax the shoulders. With the hands resting on your legs, let the next inhale draw those shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale rolls the shoulders back and down. So beginning to find this movement that rolls the shoulders, ties to your breath. Maybe you start to feel a little bit of openness through the muscles, the tension that we can carry across the chest. I like shoulder rolls that roll up and back because it has a tendency to help offset slouching, which we all have a tendency to some degree to do. So big shoulder rolls, lifting and rolling back. Full steady breath. Let that be a part of your practice here. The next time you roll the shoulders back, let them work their way down the back of the body. So it takes some muscular effort to get them lowered back there, but then you're going to let them go and feel like they just kind of hang back there. The more upright you sit, the more that can happen in your body. Good. Sitting tall, use an inhale, gently stretch the chin upward, gentle stretch through your throat. On an exhale, bring the head back to a level, neutral position. Inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, neutral head. One more. Inhale, reach the chin up. And on an exhale, come back to a neutral position for your head and neck. Find an inhale here. And on your exhale, tilt the head to the right so the shoulders don't travel along. They stay level. Just tilt the head over to the right side, ear a little closer to that shoulder. Maybe your left fingers reach down towards the floor. Let that left shoulder get a little bit heavier to offset this stretch as we explore a stretch in the left side of the neck. If this creates any pinchy, sharp, steady, uncomfortable feelings, lift up, reposition, find a place that feels safe. And throughout this entire practice, honor your body and the feedback that it provides you with. That might mean backing off a little bit. It might mean rearranging things a little bit. Dull, achy sensations, we try to sit with those in yoga. Anything that feels unsafe, let's move on and find an alternative that works well. Bringing the hands back to the legs, use an inhale, lift the head up, bring a little bit of movement to stabilize through the neck. And then when you're ready, over to the other side, left ear towards the left shoulder. Maybe that right arm hangs down by your side to add a little weight to the shoulder and length through the right side of the neck. Breathing into that stretch that you find. Keep it safe. Finding your edge. That's this place beyond effortless, but before pain comes into the picture. Somewhere in the middle is this sense that there's benefit. And then let's bring the hands back to the legs. Lift your head back up. Bring a little bit of movement in to stabilize once again. Good. Check in with how things feel through your neck and through your shoulders. Sit tall once again. Relax the shoulders. On an inhale, you're looking forward. On an exhale, turn the head to the right. You're bringing that chin towards the right shoulder. Inhale comes back to center. Exhale, turn the head to the left, stretching gently, chin towards the shoulder. On the inhales, follow your own breath. You come to center. Exhales, we'll take one more of those to each side. Inhale comes back to center. Check in with how things are feeling. Awesome. Raise your right leg and bring a little movement into that right ankle, flexing, circling, wiggling those toes. Give that foot a little shake. Other side. Bring some movement into the foot, into the ankle. Give it a little shake. And bring the feet back down to the floor. Good. This is where you're going to use your strap. So taking your strap or your substitution for a strap, place the ball of the right foot right on top of that strap, so just behind the toes, and then hold it about the height of your knee. That's where I like to hold it. And you might wrap one time just to get a little better grasp on that if that feels good to you. And check in with the position of the feet. So both ankles are below the knees, keeping that left leg position just like this. On an inhale, begin to extend out through that right heel. Draw the shoulders back. Lift your heart. Stay off the back of the chair. And on an exhale, bend that right knee and slowly bring it down to the floor. Good. Moving with your breath. Inhales, do the lifting and the lengthening, pressing out through that heel. Exhale, lowers down. Keep moving. This might get a little bit pinchy or feel a little uncomfortable, even crampy in that right hip. If that's you, don't raise the leg quite as high. Over time, your practice will hopefully ease that area a little bit, but it's common for that to feel tight with this movement. We're doing a lot of engaging and squeezing in those hip flexors and thigh muscles to make that leg lift up. Good. One more. Inhale, raises, pressing out through the heel, using some tension there on that strap to press the heel out and create some more length in the back of this leg. And then on an exhale, slowly bring that one back down. Good. Releasing the strap, you can find a little bit of movement through that leg. And then taking it over to the other side, let's take the strap around the ball of the left foot. Holding it about knee height, both ankles underneath the knees, sitting tall off the back of the chair. And inhale is going to raise that leg up, pressing out through the heel. And exhale lowers it back down. Find your breath, that steady breath that we've created for this practice, and let that be your guide. Inhales do the lifting. Exhales do the lowering. And then inhale, raise that leg, press out through the heel, create just a little bit of tension there with the strap. Explore the back of the calf, the back of the knee, the back of the thigh, and maintain that full breath. One more inhale here. And exhale, slowly brings that one back down. Might feel good to move out through that leg. Good. Let's come back to sitting tall. Ankles underneath the knees. With your strap or rope or whatever it is that you're using, fold it down so that it doesn't have too long of a tail when you hold about 2 to 3 feet of strap between your hands. Beginning to explore the range of motion through the shoulders. Your shoulders might prefer to keep that movement down at shoulder height or lower. You might be okay with bringing that movement in to make bigger movements through the shoulders. Exploring the range of motion, the movement in both shoulders. Sometimes you might get drawn into what feels like a really nice deep stretch. You can follow those paths too. You can explore some of those places that might regularly carry tension and feel a bit tight. And anything that feels like a big red flag, maybe we'll save to explore for another day. Maybe you combine upper, higher movements with lower movements. Just begin to find movement that feels right to you. Reach your arms up, lift your heart up, lift your chin up, and arch those arms back as far as they go. If you needed to, you could bend the elbows. Find what this looks like in your own body. And then go ahead and release your arms, and you can put your strap off to the side. Scooting forward on your chair just a bit, grasp the outer edges or top of the chair if you've got something to hold on to there. Good. Ankles are still underneath the knees. On an inhale, begin to lean forward, straighten your arms, lift your heart, lift your chin, roll the shoulders back. On an exhale, draw your belly in, round the spine, folding forward. Inhale, heart lifts, chin lifts, arms straighten, push into the chair. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin under, and breathe. Continue this movement with your breath. Inhales, push into the chair. Exhales, feel like they pull the chair towards you as you round the spine back towards the back of the chair. Good. A couple more just like this. And then inhale your way back up. Good job. Check in with how things are feeling through the neck, through the shoulders, through the upper body. Awesome. Let me get into a little side stretching here. So we're going to scoot just a little bit over to the left side so that you've got room to grasp the edge of the right side of the chair with your right hand. If you've got room to lean into it, you can hold on to it, however it supports you. Ankles down or down underneath the knees. Add a little weight to that left thigh and that left hip. So that side wants to stay grounded here. And then weighted through that hip. Begin to raise up through the ribs. You can use your hand and draw those ribs up and back. Start to look up. And then from here, either keep that hand on the rib cage and draw it back further, or start to stretch those left fingers up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, begin to find a side bend here, stretching that arm overhead. Try to avoid coming across the face. So really rolling that shoulder back, arms overhead. Gaze might be up underneath your arm, or it might be forward, or it might be down. That supporting arm, sometimes it needs to bend a little to accommodate that side bend. You might even be in a position where you need to reach a little lower if you've got a chair leg that's accessible. Sometimes you do that because you're flexible. Sometimes you do that just because you were born with really long arms or short waist. Inhale, takes those left fingers, reach them up towards the ceiling. And exhale, releases on that side. Beautiful. Let's scoot over to the other side. So just a little scoot. You don't have to come all the way off the edge of the chair. Left hand, you're going to grasp the edge of the chair on this side. Knees are still above the ankles. Right hand, right ribs. Weight the right thigh and the right hip. Start to draw that side of your body back, the ribs, the shoulder. Maybe you're looking up. And then that right arm, it could reach overhead if the shoulder's good with that. And then maybe you're coming into a side bend here. Again, you might be holding the chair. You might be reaching down a little bit. If you have a complete yoga setup at your home, you might be using blocks here underneath that supporting hand. It's all good. On an inhale, right fingers, stretch them up, reach them up, look up. And exhale, releases. Come back to center. Check in with how things are feeling. Good job. We're going to scoot over to the right side. And as you do that, the left side of your bottom will stay in the chair. The right side will actually come off the edge. And then putting the left ankle underneath the left knee to really support that side of your body. Lean to the left, stretch the right leg out, plant that right foot down, and then do your best to come back to sitting upright. So let's just take a moment. Notice if you're leaning way over to the left, come back to sitting up nice and upright. Good. Can you press down into that right foot any amount more? Is that leg straight? Taking the heel of your hand, start to just massage that outer right thigh a little bit here. You're making little circles as you work your way up and down the outer thigh. So this IT band that runs the length of our outer thigh can often be involved with a lot of tension. Sometimes things get stuck through there. You might work your way towards the front of the thigh or back of the thigh and just notice how it feels to release that stuff. And then try to weight that thigh bone so that the thigh bone feels like it gets heavier towards the floor, and release any clenching and tension that you're feeling on the inner thigh and see if that thigh bone can't descend towards the floor just a little bit more here. Good. Full steady breath. Maybe you lean a little bit to the right side. Maybe your right hand supports you at the thigh or the calf. You could hang out here or draw those left ribs back and take that left arm up and over for just a moment. Notice where that left foot is right about now. Is that ankle still under your knee, or have you repositioned that leg? A lot of times that happens unintentionally. Release the left arm, grasp the left side of the chair, and as you lean to the left, really carefully, even use your right hand to do it, bring that leg back in. That one's got to be a slow movement. Bring a little movement into that leg. And then side two. Scoot on over to the right or to the left. Right side of your bottom's in the chair, and the left leg extends out. Right ankle's underneath the right knee. That leg faces forward, and that left foot, you're trying to get it as flat to the floor as you can, and you're trying to straighten that leg as much as you can. It might not be perfect today. That's okay. That's why they call it yoga practice. Using the heel of the left hand, again, you might start to make those circles, working your way down the outer thigh, pausing at any of those places that are sensitive, and maybe just getting into there and exploring in there just a little bit more. In tune to your breath. Start to release through that hip with a sense that that thigh bone, the left thigh bone, is moving towards the floor a little bit more. Sometimes just a little bit of pressure, a little encouragement to open through the resistant muscles that we find in this position. Sometimes I just stay and keep working on that stuff because it can be so tight. The other side would be maybe you find another side bend that would rest the left hand somewhere between your hip, thigh, or your shin, drawing the right shoulder back, reaching that arm up and coming over. Breathing. And releasing, hold the right side of the chair really carefully. Bring that left leg back in. Bring a little movement into that leg or both legs. I'm going to have you scoot sideways on your chair. I'm actually going to move my chair so I'm still facing you, but you just need to turn your body around so you can still see and hear me. So when you turn to the right, you've got the back of the chair along your right side. Press that right knee forward because it's going to want to travel and push into the chair with you. So keep the hips square and the legs extended out, and bring both hands to the back of the chair. Press into the chair with your sit bones, and on an inhale, sit really tall here. On an exhale, turn your head back and start to draw that right shoulder back. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ribs back, left ribs forward. Inhale, tall. Exhale, belly button. Take it over to the right and then travel up to your head and see if there's room to turn your head a little closer to your right shoulder. Inhale up tall, and exhale releases. Find a little bit of movement. And then you're going to turn your body all the way around so that you have your left side against the back of the chair. I'm going to turn my chair around so I'm still facing you. Planting the feet, thigh bones face forward, holding the back of the chair. Keep pressing that left knee forward as the right hand reaches around. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, turn the head. Inhale, tall. Exhale, draw the left shoulder back and the right shoulder forward. Inhale, length through the spine, draw the low belly in, and begin to draw those left ribs back, right ribs forward. Inhale, tall. Good. Exhale, belly button. Take it to the left. Inhale up tall. And exhale, releases. Bringing a little bit of movement in, easing any tensions that you're feeling in your body. Planting your feet, knees above the ankles. Roll the shoulders back once again. Try to keep the neck long. Sometimes when people hear that, they want to tilt their head up. So picturing a string on the very crown of your head, let there be this sense of lifting through the crown of the head. The low belly feels like it scoops in, draws up. And at the same time, weight the shoulders. Let them feel a little bit heavier here. So it feels like things are turned on a little bit. Pressing down into the feet, roll the shoulders back and close your eyes or drift your gaze down. Come back to the sound of your breath. You can label your breath in as an inhale in your head. And you can label the breath out as an exhale. You can use other words that you tie to each breath. Let your focus be on your breath. And then open your eyes. Take your arms and give them a shake. Hold on to your chair, lift your feet, give those legs a shake. Good. Plant the feet, move the shoulders, move the upper body just a little bit. Notice how things are feeling. And then for Shavasana, your final resting pose of your practice, do not stop this video. It's time for some Shavasana. We're not going to skip it. If you have a mat down or a place to lie down and you're comfortable getting into a lying down position, that's what I would suggest. So you can go ahead and make that move. If you're in a chair, you're in a place where that would be really not appropriate, maybe you're at work, then just lean into the back of the chair. If you can scoot your chair to a wall, it'd be nice to put your shoulders back and bring your head to that wall. So wherever it is, if there's nothing else there, just allow yourself to maybe lower the head a little bit. Let the shoulders settle in. If you're lying on your back, you might have some support underneath your knees. In yoga class, we would use a bolster for that. Good. Close your eyes. Find a long, slow breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh that breath out. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale out heat, stress, tension, worries. Let it go. Eyes are closed, body's relaxed. Come back to an effortless breath. Come back to ease and relaxation in your body. And allow yourself to settle into quiet, into stillness for these last few moments of your practice. Effortless breath, body at ease and open, benefits of your yoga. Let your next inhale be a nice full breath in. And softly sigh that one out too. Begin to bring some awareness into your body, wiggling fingers and toes, stretching out through arms and through legs. If you're on your back, hug your knees in. See how that feels. Rock a little from side to side and roll your way over onto one side. If you're in a chair, you're sitting upright, let those shoulders lift and roll back a little bit more. Check in with how things feel through your body. Let's all meet up in a seated position. Bringing your hands together at heart center and bowing the wisdom of your mind to the loving kindness that resides in your heart. Cultivating a sense of gratitude for our ability to practice yoga anywhere. Grateful for its benefits, the things that we gain and the things that we release. Thank you for making me a part of your yoga today. Namaste.